Hey there, this is Amelia here. Welcome to Amelia's crossdressing story. Today we are going to share a story called Sister Feminized Me Part 2. By Teddy. For more interesting and exclusive stories, please subscribe to my channel and support me at Patreon. Donna and their mother came out as father, still excited, unlocked the doors with the remote. This was so exciting for him. He had taken a chance with this new firm and they had promised a good new car if he passed a probationary period. He left his old Maestro at the scrapyard when he went to pick this car up. "Watch how Donna and I get into the car," whispered Kelly. "Remember to smooth your skirt as you sit and keep your legs together. That's a very short skirt you're wearing." Gemma followed Donna and Kelly's example. As soon as all were installed, Dad started the engine and off they went. Just a quick ride around town. He was so excited and Gemma was so pleased for her father. She wanted to give him a hug but couldn't. The quick tour was soon over after they had been shown every gadget and feature. Gemma again watched her sisters and followed how they dismounted from the vehicle. "I believe you are stopping over tonight, Gemma, and that's great as we are all going out for tea. It's a special do paid for by my company and I'd said I was taking my wife and 3 kids. If anyone asks, you're my 3rd daughter for tonight, if that's okay with you." "I'm not sure I'm ready for this," thought Gemma. "That's very kind, Mr. Woods, but I'm not sure if I should be imposing." "Nonsense, my dear, it's our pleasure. Anyway, you know Donna and Kelly well and you are with us tonight. We couldn't leave you behind, could we? Okay ladies, we are going at 6:30, there's no need to change, you all look lovely as you are." "Well, I'm not going out in my office uniform," said Mother. "And we've got to freshen our makeup," said Donna. "Definitely," added Kelly. "Oh, all right then, soon as you can then, ladies." A house full of women, he thought. Where's your son when you need him? Wearing a skirt! He hadn't recognized Jim when he drove past Gemma and Kelly, but Donna and his wife had thought it best to tell him. It was his decision to string Jim along and pretend he didn't know. To be honest, unless he'd been told, he wouldn't have realized. He felt it would help Jim to develop his feminine side by going out tonight. He just wished his dad had been as kind with him. Donna and Kelly took Gemma upstairs and showed her how to cleanse her face and remove her makeup. "There's no time to change, but we'll freshen our looks," they said. They applied a more dynamic and sexy look for the evening. The colors were darker and mascara and eyeliner were used, a little blusher and then a rich red lipstick completed their work. They also painted her nails a matching red and left her to watch as they applied similar war paint. Gemma was quite surprised at the difference a little new makeup made to her appearance. Jim had completely disappeared and she was fascinated with her glowing nails. Soon the girls were ready and made their way down to the lounge. Their father had already changed. Their mother was soon down to join them. "Right ladies, off we go." Their father was still excited as he led his family to his new toy and off to the country club hotel. It was growing dark now, but they laughed as they saw 5 other scenics lined up in the car park as they arrived. "Yes, I wasn't the only one to get a car today," he laughed. Gemma again followed her sister's lead in getting into and out of the car. It was relatively easy in this mini people carrier as long as she remembered what she was wearing. There were several family groups standing in the bar area and Frank Woods made for his closest colleague Jim Forrest. Jim was also very pleased with his new motor as he had 3 strapping teenage sons, Kevin, James and Nigel, to transport. They of course weren't thinking about cars when they saw Frank's family. Gemma hadn't realized the situation until she saw the boys' obvious delight. "Don't worry, they're only silly boys," whispered Donna. "Yes, but remember, I know what silly boys are like and they think I'm like you and Kelly." "And what do you think we are going to let them do?" "Well, I don't know, but..." "What do you think of us, little sister?" Kelly feigned a shocked expression. "I'm sorry, but events are coming at me thick and fast." "All right, Gemma, only teasing, we'll look after you." "They do look quite tasty though." Kelly hid her smile at her brother's discomfort. The 3 boys soon maneuvered themselves to be with the girls and engaged them in small talk. Kelly and Donna soon interrupted when Gemma was lost for words and they enjoyed the company. Gemma felt a glow from the alcohol in the glass of wine she was given. She appeared much older than her 13 years when dressed like this and was not used to drinking apart from some small beers with her father at home. James, the youngest of the boys, was paying her particular attention. His brothers had moved in on Kelly and Donna. The firm had hired a separate room and the party moved from the bar and sat at large circular tables. There were enough seats for both families and the boys managed to place themselves between the girls. The fathers smiled, remembering their own teenage years, and the mothers kept a close eye on proceedings. James was 14 and while obviously keen on Gemma was inexperienced with girls and quite nervous, so she did not feel under any pressure. She kept up small talk with James through the meal and occasionally with the other brothers and their parents. The coffee was served and it looked like the MD was going to make a speech soon. It was a complete surprise for Gemma when she felt Kevin's hand on her thigh. She was shocked, he wasn't even looking in her direction. Her sisters didn't notice her distress and she sat frozen, not knowing what to do. She began to blush. James noticed. He knew his brother well and saw the position of his arm. "Just push his hand away," he whispered. Then more loudly, "Come on Gemma, let's get a bit of air before the hot air starts." Kelly and Donna looked up, their eyes now showing concern, but Gemma smiled back to indicate that she was okay with this. Kevin looked a little sheepish, then returned his attention to Donna. James escorted Gemma from the room with his arm around her waist. Kelly and Donna were slightly concerned they were not looking after their new sister, and Donna decided she would check up in a few minutes. As James and Gemma left the room, they noticed a conservatory with the doors open onto a patio, and he steered her in that direction. There was a wooden bench and they sat down. "I'm sorry about my brother, he can't help himself." "It was nothing really, I'm just not used to that sort of attention," replied Gemma. "Not used to it at all," thought the boy within. "Well, I think you're really nice, but I wouldn't dream of being so forward. You don't mind being out here with me, my intentions are honorable, I assure you." Gemma smiled at James, he was trying so hard to be a perfect gentleman. "I don't mind being out here with you, I am enjoying your company very much." It was a lovely night, but the air was cool and a sudden breath of wind made Gemma shiver. It was easy to forget what she was wearing didn't cover much. James, ever the gentleman, took off his sports jacket and placed it around Gemma's shoulders. His touch made her forget completely the boy within, and as she turned to face him, the kiss followed automatically. A gentle, soft caress of the lips, the feeling was quite unlike any other she'd had. He was taller than she was, she felt so vulnerable and feminine as he bent down to kiss her. "I'm sorry I took advantage, please forgive me." James, surprised at his own forwardness, recoiled and sat back. "I'll forgive you if you kiss me again." Gemma surprised herself with her reaction. James, surprised and yet delighted by this turn of events, obliged. There was more passion and less hesitation this time, and Gemma felt her lips parted by his probing tongue. Looking out of the patio toward the couple, Donna and Kelly stood open-mouthed with astonishment. "We've created a monster," whispered Kelly. "What will we do?" "Well, they look happy enough to me," replied Donna. "Don't be silly, what if Mom or Dad see?" "We'll have to politely interrupt." And with that she coughed loudly. James and Gemma pulled back instinctively and tried to look like they had just been sitting talking. Fooling no one, of course. "Come on you two, the speeches are about to start," called Kelly. James and Gemma came back into the building. She handed him his jacket as her sisters smiled wickedly. James smiled weakly as they led Gemma to the ladies' room. "Why have we come in here?" asked Gemma. "To repair your lipstick, you brazen hussy." "But why?" "We saw you eating poor James alive." "Oh. Did he force you?" "Well, no, it just happened." "I don't know." "You put him in a skirt and 5 hours later he's snogging the boys," commented Donna. The reference to Gemma's real persona broke the spell she was under, and she suddenly realized who she was, where she was, and how she was dressed. She immediately burst into tears. "Now look what you've done, Donna." Kelly was furious with her sister. Gemma wept. She had become one with her feminine character, and the rude awakening after the beautiful moment with James had been a shock. "Take me home. I can't do this." cried Gemma. Now steady, you know Dad can't leave now, he's about to get an award, you know. Kelly was kind and sympathetic. Donna, you go back, we'll catch up with you in a minute. Sorry Gemma, I didn't mean to be cruel. Donna kissed Gemma and left. A lady came into the washroom and seeing Gemma asked, "What's wrong?" "It's okay," replied Kelly. "Just time of the month troubles." "Oh, it can be hell at first dear, but don't worry, it gets better." "Oh my, look at your makeup, what a state." "Now sit here and I'll fix you up." "No, it's okay, I'll manage," replied Gemma. "I insist. We ladies must stick together. Now what's your name?" "I'm Allison." "Gemma. I thought that maybe that boy you left the room with had upset you." No, he's a real gentleman." "Good, I'm pleased, he looks like a real catch." Gemma smiled for the first time. "That's better, now let's clean you up." Allison wiped her face with some cleansing tissue whilst Kelly looked on. Then she reapplied the makeup and showed Gemma her work in the mirror. Somehow Gemma felt her tension released and she hugged Allison. She did really like being a girl. "Thank you, I feel a lot better now." "Good, go and get that boy," replied Allison. "Thanks from me too, I couldn't have done the makeup that well," said Kelly. "Look after your little sister, they're so much better than brothers." "Now come on, the speeches start soon." Gemma smiled at Kelly, who was resisting laughing out loud, and they returned to the function room. James smiled broadly as they returned and Donna looked very relieved. They took their seats as the lights went down. Kelly noticed how James maneuvered his chair to be alongside Gemma and his arm was soon around her waist and hers around his. Fortunately, the Forests lived some way away, so there wasn't a problem with James being able to find out the truth. Gemma's father had to tell James's dad that she was in fact his niece, as he had talked of having a son and 2 daughters in the past. James and his brothers came to see the Spice Girls in their concert and he accompanied his girl at the disco afterwards. The girls stayed in the Spice costumes, so Gemma was flouncing about in all white with Stack's-old shoes, a short dress and a blonde wig in bunches. She felt ridiculous, but had a good time. James thought it very amusing as the shoes raised her up to his height. Now the concerts were over, there were decisions to be made. Where would Gemma go? Would she return? Donna and Kelly were sure she would. James certainly wanted her to be around. That's all for now. See you in the next video. For more interesting stories, please subscribe to our channel, and for exclusive content, please join us on Patreon. Link in the comment.